Greetings, friends. I am Vitaly Portnikov. Friedrich Merz becomes the new Federal Chancellor of Germany and the Christian Democratic Union and the Christian Social Union, the political force that will form the new German government in cooperation with coalition partners. This is the main outcome of the parliamentary elections in Germany, which took place last Sunday. However, there is another outcome that does not concern the formation of power, but indicates which party has become the main opposition force in the country. And that is the Alternative for Germany, an ultra-right political force that found itself isolated even within the camp of radical right forces in Europe itself. The support that billionaire Elon Musk provided to the Alternative for Germany, and with which other representatives of the new American political leadership spoke, however, it affected not so much the results of this political force, but rather the rise of another radical political party, only left-wing. The Left Party also enters the German parliament with one of the best results in its entire history. The results of the left are largely due to the support they received in the eastern regions of Germany in the territory of the former German Democratic Republic. However, what was striking for observers was the fact that in all the regions located in the territory of the former GDR, except for Berlin, the triumph did not belong to the Left Party, but rather to the same Alternative. And now, the territory of the Federal Republic is clearly divided along the borders of the two German states that existed during the Cold War era. In the territory of West Germany, the undisputed winner is the Christian Democratic Union, while in the territory of East Germany, it's the Alternative. What a profound impact. Decades of development leave on the psychology of the population under the conditions of a communist dictatorship. This impact is noticeable in the political present of Russia, in the political present of almost all former Soviet republics, in the political present of former socialist countries, and even in the territory of Germany. This is a civilizational boundary drawn by the communists, which emerges no less distinctly. However, here it is more about the past that does not want to let us go. But what will happen in the present? What will the new German government look like? Just last night, it seemed that Germany was facing an era of serious turbulence, because if all the leading parties entered the German Bundestag, parties of the country, it would not be possible to form a classic two-party coalition which has always been quite effective in terms of governing the country, and Friedrich Merz would most likely face the fate of Olaf Scholz, the current Federal Chancellor, who was forced, after the last Bundestag elections, to form a government that represented the interest of the Social Democrats, the Greens, and the Free Democrats. As is known, this coalition turned out to be unable to work until the end of the current Bundestag's term due to constant conflicts between coalition partners. However, voters punished almost all the parties involved in this coalition, only managed to emerge from its ruins, except for the Greens. The Social Democrats halved their representation in the Bundestag. However, the Free Democrats, who left the three-party coalition, ended up completely out of parliament, with one of the worst results in the history of this liberal political party. The alliance of the ambitious Sarah Wagenknecht, who wanted to create an alternative, also failed to enter parliament. Thus, all the conditions were created for the formation of the Left Party, a two-party, but so-called grand coalition, to return Germany to the political model that is associated with the era of the last chancellor from the Christian Democratic Union, Angela Merkel. Thus, Friedrich Merz will have to turn to the Social Democrats with proposals to form a new coalition, likely already without Olaf Scholz, who it is unlikely that he will be able to maintain his leading role in the Social Democratic Party of Germany. And most likely, the current Minister of Defense, Boris Pistorius, will be nominated for this role. It must be said right away that this new grand coalition will not be an easy task. Angela Merkel was known for her ability to find compromise. Friedrich Merz is a politician of a different style, and therefore imagining an easy existence for the Christian Democrats and Social Democrats and how long such a government will last is something no one can predict today. But Friedrich Merz does have a chance to create a stable cabinet. And this cabinet will have to respond to the grand challenges that Europe and Germany are already facing. Friedrich Merz himself, during this election campaign, spoke a lot about the importance of Europe's political independence, even about the importance of its security concept. When the candidate for the position of Federal Chancellor stated that it is necessary to enter into negotiations with France and the United Kingdom about a new model of nuclear protection for Europe, naturally considering the measures that need to be taken in case the United States, under Donald Trump's leadership, distances itself from that model. The security that existed after World War II, dismantling. Thus, the familiar order and the model of Euro-Atlantic solidarity, which was the highest achievement of liberal and democratic forces in the world. After managing to get rid of the far-right dictatorship, and, by the way, after the far-left dictatorship was also defeated in the Cold War. But now, as the far-right returns, and they are paving the way for the far-left, much will depend on the democratic forces, and on the effectiveness of the German government, which remains the main economic power of Europe, will depend whether the continent withstands these cold winds from the United States and the Russian Federation, which of course have different ideas about their own roles in Europe, but clearly can, with their ideas and actions, achieve the actual destabilization of the European continent. So the new Federal Chancellor faces, I would say, tasks of a continental scale, not to mention those tasks that are related to supporting Ukraine in the ongoing Russian-Ukrainian war, and with overcoming the economic problems that Germany itself is facing. Thank you, friends. Stay on this channel, subscribe to it, follow my social media and the channels on Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, and Donut, which help develop resources. Use the sponsorship feature on YouTube itself. Peace to you.